This is Rhonda Johnson, rc.johnson@hughes.net. In 1994, we adopted our daughter, Nikki. About 5 years later, we received a call. They said, "Your daughter has 2 biological brothers. They are U.S. citizens, but they're currently living in El Salvador. They're very sick. They're malnourished. One of them has cholera. And if we don't get them out of there, the likelihood is that they will not survive. Would you consider adopting them so we can keep this young family together and give them a good home to be raised in?" Well, my husband and I had to think about it for a minute because we already had 5 kids, and could we actually handle taking on 2 more? The answer didn't take long because we could not stand the thought of these 2 young little boys not surviving, and then trying to explain to our daughter that we had the opportunity to save them and chose not to. So we did agree to go ahead and take these 2 little boys. We got them in about April of 1999, and in August, the oldest one was going to turn 5. So when we got them, they were 2 and 4. We planned a huge 5th birthday party for him. We invited all of our friends and family and neighbors that had kids the same age. And when it came time to blow out the candles on the cake, we told him, "Make your wish, blow out the candles." And he just looked at us like, "What are you talking about?" We began to realize that neither of these kids had ever had a birthday. They'd never had a birthday party. They'd never experienced any kind of a celebration or holiday. So when it came time to open up the presents, he was so careful. He would undo the tape, make sure he didn't rip the paper. He'd open it up, and all these other little kids would say, "Ooh," and "ah," and "Oh, I like that, I want that," and he would just hand it to them. He didn't really realize that they were his presents and that he got to keep them and didn't have to give them to anyone else. We bought him a brand new bike, and he had never had a bicycle in his life. So I think we created a little bit of a monster, though, because that boy is a demon on a dirt bike these days. He's now 19. When it came to be Christmas time, then we knew this was going to be another special occasion because they had never experienced a Christmas either. So we made a big production out of going out into the woods, packing hot chocolate in thermoses, finding a tree, cutting it down, hauling it back to the house on a sled. And when my husband was getting ready to stuff it through the door, our son Tommy said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, wait a minute, you people. The trees belong outside, not in the house. What do you think you're doing trying to push a tree into my house?" So we said, "Trust us, just bear with us, you're going to like this." So finally we get the tree in the house and get ready to set it up in the tree stand, and he says, "Okay, so now what do? You cut a hole in the floor? Is that where you're going to put it in the dirt?" Because he knew enough to know that trees shouldn't belong in the house to begin with, but that they needed to be in the dirt because that's where they were outside. So we explained, no, we were just going to put it in the tree stand with some water. We decorated up the tree, got it all ready, and as the presents started getting filled in underneath the tree, he thought, aha, this might be pretty good, because he remembered his birthday just a few months before. By the time Christmas got over, it was New Year's, we were undecorating the tree, getting ready to take it outside, and he gets all dressed up in his snow pants and his coat and his hats and his gloves, and we asked him, "Well, what are you doing? Where are you going?" He says, "Well, don't we go out and get another tree and do this again?" So it was quite a special moment for us to have these 2 young little boys, ages 3 and 5 then, to spend an entire year of firsts with them, experiencing things that they'd never experienced, coming from such a tough situation that they were in. And they weren't just little infants, so they actually had an awareness of these events. So it was a whole year of firsts that was such a blessing that we were able to share with our 2 sons.